So I'm back from Formula One, Singapore GP. It's been amazing. It's been so good. Yeah, I probably don't sound very enthusiastic about it right now because I'm so super tired. But yeah, actually, my weekend sort of started on Tuesday because my favorite driver is Ocon, and I was following him on Instagram, and he posted on his story that he was basically on the plane to Singapore on Tuesday. So I did the math and figured out around what time he would arrive at Changi Airport. I probably wouldn't have gone because stalker, and also I was supposed to have class, but then my class got cancelled, so I started thinking. I was like, should I go? Should I go? And my friends were all like, yeah, go. YOLO. And so I did, because classes got cancelled anyway. So like, why not? The stars aligned. I got to the airport. I was like super nervous at first because like, what if I'm wrong? When I got there, I saw another girl. She was wearing a Red Bull jacket, so I just went up to her and I was like, hey, who are you waiting for? And she was like, oh, Esteban Ocon. And then I was like, yes. So like we kind of became friends that way. Her name is Arina. Hi, Arina. And yeah, so we basically waited for Ocon together, and after that, her brother Adam, he runs an F1 Instagram page, and he was basically like following all the drivers and trying to figure out like when they will all come. I was still a bit nervous, what if we're all wrong? But three people, we can't all be wrong. And eventually, a driver, he showed up, and then he had this placard with the Force India logo and Esteban Ocon, and we were like, oh my god, this is actually happening. And then we saw him walk out of immigration and wait at baggage claim. I was just like freaking out. And then we got pictures of him. It was really nice. He's so tall. Yeah, it was really nice of him to take pictures of us. Like he looked a bit tired, but he smiled and everything. So yeah, that was nice. After that, Adam and Irina asked me if I would like to follow them to go and say hi to Kvyat as well. I was like, oh, why not, since I'm already here? And we did that too. Kelly was really sweet because like Danny looked a bit tired, so like when he was taking photos with us, he looked kind of dead, and Kelly told him to don't forget to smile more. That was great because they both had really long flights. They didn't have to take the pics with us, but they did, and that was great. Positive fan experiences is always great. Make the fans feel great, and we'll continue supporting you. but for real though, good experience with the driver. We remember it forever, and it makes us cheer harder for whoever it is. And after that, Friday, FP1, FP2. I had school until like 2, so I only got to the track around 4, after 3, almost 4, I can't remember. I walked around, found the paddock entrance, but I think by then I was a little bit late, so I didn't hang out there for too long. I found turn 4 or 5, which is pretty good because it's like one of the slower corners in that particular area. So the cars will go a bit slower. You can take better pictures, better videos. I took quite a few slow-mo videos, which was really cool. At one point along that line beside the track thing behind the barriers, you can actually sort of like, it's close enough that you can see into the cockpit. Basically spent the whole of FP1 just like screaming at Lewis, Esteban, and Max and Daniel. And I'm really liking that particular stretch, turn 4 or 5. Basically just went there every single day. Saturday. Holiday, a lot more eventful. No school, so I got to go in much earlier. I went in around 3. Like I waited outside until they let us in, so I was basically in as soon as the circuit park opened. And then I found the paddock entrance and basically camped outside there, hoping to like get whoever I could get photos or autographs. I got a Hamilton Mercedes cap, and I was hoping to get as many drivers to sign it as possible. And I actually got a pretty good haul. Like it was pretty sweet. Like Esteban, you can see. I got Alan Prost. That was really cool. Alan wasn't really happy about it. I think like he looked a bit annoyed, but maybe that's just his face. I don't know. So I got Alan Prost. there, which is pretty cool. 2-time world champion, legend. And I got Valtteri here. That was really nice. He's a lot shorter than I thought he would be. And Ricciardo was really nice enough to sign the hat for me as well. I went up to him and I was like, I know it's the wrong team, but can you please sign it for me? And he did. I asked for a picture too, but he was like, no, that's it. Which is fine because, you know, I was being a bit greedy. But this was Jean Alesi, which was pretty cool. It was really nice. After I got the autograph, I said thank you, and he said thank you back. And I was like, why are you thanking me for asking you for your signature? Why? Carlos Sainz, Lance Stroll, Grosjean, Kvyat, and Pascal. I sort of ignored Checo and Marcus, but I sort of like shouted out encouragement at Julian because he's been having a pretty not the best season. I tried to get Nico Hülkenberg, Kevin Magnussen, and Max Verstappen to sign it, but they all just straight up ignored me. Like Kevin just walked past me. Nico like just walked away as well. Max just didn't even look at me. And funnily enough, all three of them DNF'd during the race. So Max was pretty funny because besides me, there was another guy who's trying to get a signature, and he got the signature, but he was saying to Max like, "Oh, do you remember me? We met in Russia," and Max was just like, "Oh, I meet a lot of people." Besides the signatures, I also got like some selfies with Christian Horner, team principal of Red Bull, Kelly Piquet, who's daughter of Nelson Piquet and Kvyat's girlfriend, Antonio Giovinazzi, Ferrari third driver, and he participated in the FP1 for Haas. And I got Norman Nato, I think it's how you pronounce it. Norman was a bit of like a troll sort of thing because he arrived with Sean Gelael, who participated in FP1 for Toro. So I basically just ran up to the both of them to ask Norman for a pic because I thought it'd be funny to see the look on their faces. Because Sean is the more popular driver, even though I think Norman is actually the better driver. So it was pretty funny because like, I ran up to them and then like Sean Gelael looked a bit like expectant. But then I was like, hey Norman, can you take a photo with me? And then we both looked so shocked. Like, it was the funniest thing ever. Yeah. And then went to park myself at turn 4 or 5 again to yell at certain drivers and take my slow-mo videos again. After that, back to the Zone 1 village. Stayed there for Quali so that I could actually see the screen and see what was happening. I was actually really disappointed at first because Mercedes only got P5 and P6, and there was a result that was sort of expected, but it was still disappointing. But we win and lose together. I was just hoping that we would get a better result on race day itself. And then finally, race day! Went into the circuit like well after 3, almost 4, to go on the flyer. It was kind of crap at first because I went in just as it was starting to rain, and then just before I was about to get onto the flyer, they were like, oh no, we're going to suspend all activities now because there's a thunderstorm. And basically sat there for a while and just sort of like wondered like, will this affect the race later? But eventually I managed to get on the flyer because the rain sort of stopped and it was just like slight drizzling. After going on the flyer, then got myself a couple of beers from 7-Eleven. And then back to turn 4 and 5 for driver's parade. I got waves back from Valtteri and Stoffel. Lewis had his earphones in, so like I can shout at him, but he probably didn't hear anything, so oh well. Again, when Julian came by, I was like, all the best, Joe! And yeah, seems to have worked. Been shouting at him, shouting encouragement at him since yesterday, since like the day before. Oh yeah, another interesting thing. I got roasted by the Mercedes official Twitter page because I walked past a van which had a lot of Mercedes team members. I was wearing my full Mercedes gear, so I was just like, yeah! And some of them smiled at me, so that was nice. And I saw Pete Bonington, who is Lewis's chief engineer, I think. And I basically tweeted that I was like, I think I just walked past a bus containing one Pete Bonington, and then I tagged Mercedes AMG F1, and then they replied me and they were basically like, stop boasting. I got dragged by the Mercedes Twitter. after driver's trap parade, went to the pit straight. It was like just before the first turn because I wanted to get the start, and that was actually a pretty good place to be. I was on one of the viewing platforms. A lot of people there seemed to be Lewis fans as well, so yeah. It started raining like 15 or 20 minutes before the race was about to start. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my god, is this, because this is my first race, and it was also like, is it going to be a significant one where it's like F1's first wet night race? That would be amazing. And it ended up being just that. Like the start, like it was still raining, and just the start, man. P1 Sebastian Vettel, P2 Max Verstappen, P3 Kimi Raikkonen, P4 Daniel Ricciardo, P5 Lewis Hamilton. And then by the end of the first lap, Hamilton was up in P1 because the front row and Kimi all got wiped out. Like I don't even know what happened. It's just like they all just like the three of them just collided, and then like Hamilton just went around the outside of all of them and just bypassed everything, and it was like, what? And then from there on, it just looked like he was going to win the race. So I was just like, yes. Because honestly, I was feeling a bit of a noob because I'm wearing a Lewis shirt, and it was expected that he and Mercedes in general wouldn't really get a good result because P5, P6, Singapore is notoriously hard to overtake, and it's also apparently a bad Mercedes track. So to see Lewis in the lead by the end of all that was like, yes, I wore the right T-shirt today. But yes, I'm rooting for Lewis. I like Seb as well, but I'm rooting for Lewis to win the championship this year, and hopefully next year they can both fight for that legendary 5th championship. After the first few laps, I sort of walked off that platform and then moved like further down so that I could be in front of the podium for when the race ends and get that final corner as well. And like during the races, it was just a bunch of like, please Lewis, keep that lead. So they had a great pit stop. It was really quick, so he stayed in the lead. And then the only problem was when the safety car come out, and of course it had to be Ericsson. But in the end, Lewis still won, and that was amazing. Got to see the podium, got to see the whole podium, like just there, and got to walk the track. Yeah, and got to walk the track afterwards to get back to Zone 4 and catch most of Calvin Harris's set. And yeah, like I was alone for most of it, but that I spent the time of my life. And so yeah, highlights: Tuesday meeting Ocon, fave, and Danny as well, who I've always kind of liked. Definitely one of the best days was Saturday, where I met so many of them and like got them to sign my cab. It was great. Getting Prost and Alesi as well, which I would never have expected at all. And of course, Lewis winning this race. That's probably like just one of the best things. Really, just wasn't expecting that at all, and for it to happen, it was just amazing. First F1 race, and my favorite driver won. My other favorite driver continued his point streak on his birthday. Congratulations, Esteban! Happy birthday! Good for Julian as well. The shouting encouragement at him seemed to have helped. He got P6. I think every time I feel down about something, I can just like look back on all the memories of this and just be like, you know what, life is great. That thing's worth living for, even if it's just an F1 weekend. Apologies to any Ferrari fans or Ricciardo fans. I know you guys didn't get your best results as well. And really, really, really bad luck, especially to any Max fans. Nobody deserves to DNF that many times. That's just not right. Feel bad for all the Ferrari fans. Hopefully, still 6 more races to go. Anything can happen, but go Mercedes and go Lewis. Bye.